Aloha, it's Debbie Zimmerman, and thanks for joining us. Today I have a really special guest. I think you're going to really enjoy this story. My new friend, Breann, who actually has a great company that I think every parent with a child with special needs this service. Her company is called Successfully Social. So she actually helps kids with their social skills. And she's also involved in Amari. But Breann, would you tell me a little bit about your background?
Yes. Hello. Hello, friends. Hello, new friends. So my training is as a school psychologist. I worked in the public schools for about a decade, and I was blessed with gifts to be able to support kids with behavioral and emotional needs. And so I kind of randomly ended up at an elementary school with an affective needs program. And it turned out I was really great at helping those kids. And so for whatever crazy reason, the school district moved the program around, I guess, to not burden principals for too many years in a row. And I followed that program around. And then the last piece of my public school career, I was in a day treatment setting, which was K-12. And I was one of the mental health professionals who supported the kids in our school district with the highest level of behavioral and emotional needs. So that's my background. And I was trying to conceive and trying to get pregnant during, the sort of end of my career there, and the stress level of supporting kids who have super explosive behaviors, who are dangerous sometimes. I almost had my nose broken. I was punched in the nose by a fifth grader. It was very stressful. So once I did have a child, I left the public schools and created Successfully Social with a former coworker who's a special ed teacher.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. We ended up having kiddos around the same time, and we were like kind of reinventing ourselves and thinking about what really we thought what really mattered, as far as raising humans and children. And we knew both intellectually through the research and just intuitively how important social skills were for life success. And if you know the research, then you know that that's true. Most important measure is social skills. And so we created this company, Successfully Social, to support quirky kids out in the world.
That's fantastic. So how many kids are you working with in your company?
Oh, I don't know how many families I currently have. I mean, I'm a parentpreneur, so I'm still, raising my own kids, trying to change the world that way. And then probably between 30, I think I have right around 30 families that I'm supporting.
Yeah.
So, and it ebbs and flows, but yeah, it's amazing. I love it.
So how did you come to Amari?
Oh, well, so becoming a mother was, I had a rough entry into motherhood. I had a traumatic birth with my first kiddo, my son. He was born via C-section after I wanted a natural birth, so kind of got the opposite experience that I wanted. And then 10 days after that, I almost died with preeclampsia. Yep. And so I just thought, like, oh, this is what it's like to be a mom. It's really hard and stressful because I was on my way to like having a seizure, but I never knew that until 10 days later when I ended up in the hospital. So I was just grateful to be alive at that point. And I just, was loving on my guy, reduced work, how much I was working, and I just got through it. And then I had another kiddo. I had a daughter, and her birth was exactly what I needed to heal. But then I ended up with some pretty significant postpartum anxiety, auditory hallucinations, just the fear train running wild, thinking about terrible things that could happen, intrusive thoughts, and then just kind of a runaway train into the darkness is what I call it. And I started doing, as a psychologist, I knew like, okay, there are things I can do here, you know, and I was considering getting on meds because sometimes your brain needs that, but sometimes there are other ways, right? And so I started doing my own research on the gut. I think through a Facebook ad, I saw some info around some probiotics, and I thought, okay, this could maybe help. And I tried those, and they didn't help. They gave me some physical symptoms that I didn't have before, and I was like, huh, I guess that's not it. And then I saw a mom friend who, we both had babies in 2017, posting about the gut-brain connection. And it, you know, it kind of was like this tap, and I was like, I got to know about that, you know. And so I was doing some of my own research on the side because I'm a psychologist, and that's kind of my thing. And then I reached out to her, and I said, please tell me about this, you know. And so met with her, and thought, you know, yes, I'm going to try this for myself. And then I started thinking about all the people in my life with various stuff going on who I thought, man, this could really help them. And so I asked for a sign. My husband's a teacher, and we got a big sign. His former student assistant ended her life in suicide, and that was very traumatic. A much bigger sign than I needed, but I decided, you know what, this is too important to not jump into this movement. And so here I am.
It's amazing. The older I get, the more I start to really value signs.
Your belief system is it's God, or you pray to or ask for help for, you know, those signals are there, and you just, those signs, and yeah, important.
Those are the doors that open for you.
Yeah.
So you tried Amari.
I did.
And what happened for you?
Within, I noticed just a lightness. And I don't really know exactly the right words to put to it, but I just noticed that I was not, you know, stress happens, and I wasn't being triggered by the stress and going down to the dark place, like to that runaway fear train. And it just, all of a sudden I just kind of noticed, like, hey, that's not happening anymore. And then, you know, I continued to take the products because I know that it takes a while for our gut, you know, to be healed. It can take a really long time. And I just started enjoying motherhood and being able to play with my kids, and just kind of feeling joy again that had not been there for a while. And I just kind of felt like the light returned to me.
Wow. Was it a subtle thing for you?
At first it was, for sure. And then, you know, I wouldn't say like, oh, I take my supplements and then it was so noticeable. It was more like the absence of negativity, and then being able to deal with stress, being able to stress better. And so I thought, okay, well, you know, is this real? And so, like an idiot, I tested it and went off the products, and immediately noticed that yes, it was. The stress resiliency plummeted. And so I was like, okay, this is legit, this is real, and I'm not going to do that again to myself. Come on, Breann.
Before, actually, that you really notice it when you go off the product, right?
Yes, for sure.
And so are other members of your family?
My kids, and as I mentioned, my son was a C-section birth, and so I actually went to a support group for moms who had C-sections, and so that's the first time I heard the word microbiome. And so I was a little bit in the know about the microbiome, like as far as what it was and how it was important to us, to our, you know, overall functioning. I didn't know its connection to the brain at that point. And so I knew that I was going to need him to somehow get healthier, have a healthier microbiome. I was like, okay, we got to get this stuff in him. And I've noticed that so quirky kids, and some of that is just because else as it could be. Oh no, I don't know. Just happened.
Did it just happen?
Yes.
Okay, we'll see if it reconnects.
Yeah, let's try that.
Okay.